Today we are going back 20 years to WWE Smackdown vs Raw on the PlayStation 2 to take a look at the Monday Night Raw roster. We've already looked at the Smackdown roster in the previous video, which you can check out here, but now it's time for the Red Brand. Occupying 21 slots of the total 53 playable superstars on the game, the Raw brand is packed with legends and future Hall of Famers. Let's take a look at how the roster looked, starting with the lower mid-carders that you could choose to play as on the Raw brand. Up first, we have the former four-time WCW Tag Team Champion, Chuck Palumbo. Palumbo returns to the main series after his initial appearance in Smackdown Shut Your Mouth as Chuck, when he was Tag Team Champions alongside Billy. After his tag team run with Billy and the reunion of the Full-Blooded Italians in 2003, Palumbo would be traded to Raw in March of 2004 alongside A-Train. Despite being on the Raw roster, it wouldn't take too long for Palumbo to mainly appear on Sunday Night Heat before his eventual release around the time that this game was released. Next up, we have Garrison Cade. The future Lance Cade first appeared on WWE television in 2003 alongside Mark Jindrak as an up-and-coming Raw tag team. Cade drops in at 77 overall and would appear two more times in the main series, once in SmackDown vs Raw 2007 alongside Trevor Murdoch, and again in SmackDown vs Raw 2009, which would be his last appearance in a WWE game, as he would be released in April of 2010 and unfortunately pass away in August of the same year. Next up, we have A-Train. The former Albert makes his fifth main series appearance after his first in WWF SmackDown 2, Know Your Role. As I mentioned earlier, A-Train joined Raw in March after a couple of years on the SmackDown roster, having a high-profile WrestleMania match alongside The Big Show in 2003 against The Undertaker. A-Train's tenure on Raw would be brief, as he would be released from the company in November before he could return from injury. Despite his brief run on Raw, A-Train would make the cut for the roster on this game and would be given a 78 overall. Next up, we have the first of four different women's wrestlers you could choose to play as on the Raw brand. First, we have Stacy Keibler, who makes her third appearance in the main series after her debut back in SmackDown Shut Your Mouth. Keibler is rated just 54 overall and is featured prominently around the Royal Rumble in the game's season mode. If you were able to win the Royal Rumble, you would gain the services of Stacy as your manager. Stacy is also joined by Victoria, who is rightfully the second highest rated female superstar in the game, although still shockingly only being rated 60 overall. This game marked Victoria's second appearance in the main series after her debut in SmackDown Here Comes the Pain. Victoria has only recently returned to the main series in WWE 2K25 after a lengthy absence. 2004 was a prominent year for Victoria in her career, winning the Women's Championship for the second time and having a memorable hair versus title match against Molly Holly at WrestleMania 20, where Molly would lose the match, resulting in her head being shaved. Speaking of Molly Holly, she is also a member of the Raw roster, dropping in at 59 overall, making her third appearance in the main series. In 2004, Molly would be inactive on WWE television by the end of the year and would subsequently depart the company in early 2005. The last of the women's superstars on the Raw roster is of course Trish Stratus, who is the highest rated female competitor in the game at 61 overall. She is of course still massively underrated, but she does make her fifth appearance in the main series, debuting first in WWF SmackDown 2, Know Your Role. Trish would proceed to appear on the SVR 06 and SVR 07 titles before her eventual retirement from WWE. Trish would later return on SVR 10, WWE 12 and WWE 13 before taking another absence from the main series until returning for good in WWE 2K16. Next up, we venture into mid-card territory as we welcome the Japanese buzzsaw, Tajiri. Tajiri's inclusion marks his fourth appearance in the main series, appearing first on WWF SmackDown Just Bring It. Tajiri is rated 79 overall, which is maybe a little bit low. I think he could probably be around 80 or 81. In 2004, Tajiri would join Raw after WrestleMania and would soon find himself in a tag team with Rhino. Tajiri and Rhino were unsuccessful at winning the tag team gold on Raw, challenging La Resistance at Unforgiven before quietly dissolving as a team not long after. Speaking of the Man Beast, Rhino enters SmackDown vs Raw in his 4th appearance in the main series, also debuting in WWF Just Bring It. Rhino was given an 80 rating in this game, which is probably fair to be honest. He is one of the more fun superstars to play as his gore finishing move is one of the most satisfying to land in the game. This game would mark Rhino's last appearance in the main series for well over a decade, until his eventual return in WWE 2K18. As I mentioned previously, Rhino had a run as a tag team with Tajiri in 2004, but by 2005 both Tajiri and Rhino would depart the company. Next up, we have the best athlete in WWE history, Shelton Benjamin. Shelton had a great 2004 in WWE after being traded from SmackDown to Raw. Shelton was immediately thrusted into a feud with Triple H upon his arrival and actually scored not 1 but 3 upset victories over him during their feud. Shelton would recover from an injury in the summer and would return at Taboo Tuesday late in the year to defeat Chris Jericho for the Intercontinental Championship. Shelton would be rated 83 overall in this game, marking his 2nd appearance in the main series, following his debut in Here Comes the Pain. Next up, we have version 1 Matt Hardy. Matt has one of the best and most amusing entrances in the game. Each time you select to play as him, a different Matt fact will appear on the screen. After joining Raw in late 2003, Matt would do nothing of note until April, when he turned face to save Lita from Kane. The two would clash in a Till Doers Part match at SummerSlam, which resulted in Lita having to marry Kane. Matt would soon take almost a year off due to a serious knee injury, which would of course be the point in which Lita and Edge would have an affair. Matt arrives in the game at 80 overall and makes his 6th appearance in the main series, making his debut in WWF SmackDown. Next up, we have another superstar who made their main series debut in WWF SmackDown, and that man is Christian. Christian had a decent 2004 in WWE, participating in a singles match with Chris Jericho at WrestleMania 20, which resulted in Trish Stratus turning on Chris and aligning with Christian. It was around this time that Christian would introduce his personal bodyguard Tyson Tomko, who debuted in May, which might be the reason why he was not included in the game's roster. Christian drops in at a respectable 82 overall and is one of 7 members of the Raw roster who is actively competing in wrestling as of today. Next up, we have a man who needs no introduction, and that is the legendary Nature Boy himself, Ric Flair, accompanied by Batista. Flair is the learning tree of Evolution at this point, who are included in the game as a stable. Flair and Batista would hold the World Tag Team titles in 2004, dropping them momentarily to Booker T and Rob Van Dam in February, before picking them up once again not long after the 2004 draft lottery. Flair would also be a part of a 3-on-2 handicap match at WrestleMania alongside Batista and Randy Orton as they took on the team of Mick Foley and The Rock. Flair is surprisingly rated 86 overall in this game, which did shock me considering his age. This game marks Flair's 3rd appearance in the main series after his debut in SmackDown Shut Your Mouth. The Big Red Machine Kane is also a big addition to the Raw brand, appearing as his unmasked version for the 2nd time, but in his 6th appearance overall in the main series after debuting in WWF SmackDown. You can also play as a masked version of Kane in this game after unlocking him from the in-game shop. Kane is rated 87 overall, which is justified considering his run in 2003 and his feud in 2004 with Matt Hardy. Kane is one of the most overpowered characters in this game, especially when playing as the masked version of the Big Red Machine. Next up, we have Ric Flair's World Tag Team Championship counterpart in the Animal Batista. Making his 2nd appearance in the main series, Batista drops in at 84 overall, which is maybe a little low considering his dominant displays on Raw in 2004 and being rated lower than an aging Ric Flair. Batista had 2 runs with the World Tag Team Championship in 2004, and also, as mentioned previously, he was a member of the 3-man Evolution team that took on Mick Foley and The Rock at WrestleMania 20. Batista's overall reaches 88 in the following year after his split from Evolution and after beating Triple H at WrestleMania 21. Batista's rating would continue to climb before reaching its highest point in SmackDown vs Raw 2008, where he would be rated 94 overall. Chris Jericho makes his 6th appearance in the main series, dropping in at a respectable 87 overall. Jericho had a memorable run in 2004 off the back of his feud with Christian that ended with Trish Stratus turning on Jericho at WrestleMania 20. Y2J would win his record-breaking 7th Intercontinental Championship from Christian at Unforgiven, overpassing the previous record held by Jeff Jarrett. Jericho would hold on to the title until Taboo Tuesday, where he would drop the title to Shelton Benjamin. Jericho would soon depart the company in 2005 and would not return until 2007. He would make one more appearance in SmackDown vs Raw 2006 and would not return until SmackDown vs Raw 2009. Next, we have another Canadian in this list, in the soon-to-be Rated R superstar, Edge. Edge makes his 6th appearance in the main series after his debut in WWF Smackdown. He would return to competition in 2004 after an injury that kept him out of WWE throughout 2003. Edge would return to the company at the 2004 Draft Lottery and would soon win the World Tag Team Championship with Chris Benoit in April of that year. Edge would also win the Intercontinental Championship, defeating Randy Orton at that year's Vengeance pay-per-view. Edge is rated 84 overall, which is probably fair due to his time away in 2003. Next up, we have the penultimate member of Evolution, and he is the youngest World Heavyweight Champion in history, Randy Orton. Randy would have a bittersweet 2004, defeating Chris Benoit for the World Heavyweight Championship at SummerSlam, becoming the youngest world champion in history, but also having his Evolution teammates turn on him in the aftermath of his title victory. This game marks Randy's 3rd appearance in the main series and is rated 88 overall, which is a monumental increase from Here Comes the Pain, where he was only 70 overall. Next up, we have a controversial name in professional wrestling, and he is of course Chris Benoit. Benoit had the greatest year of his WWE career in 2004, defeating Shawn Michaels and Triple H in a triple threat match at WrestleMania 20, in a match that has never been mentioned by the company since the tragedy that unfolded in 2007. Benoit enters the game at 90 overall and makes his 5th appearance in the main series after his debut in Smackdown Know Your Role. Second to last, we have the legendary Hall of Famer himself, the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels. HBK is rated 89 in this game, which is quite harsh in my opinion. I think he should probably be somewhere between 90 to 92. Shawn would, however, rise to 94 overall in SmackDown vs Raw 2007. Shawn would have a decent year in 2004, being a part of the triple threat match at WrestleMania 20, and also having a continued feud with Triple H, which included a memorable Hell in a Cell match at Bad Blood, which is actually the longest Hell in a Cell match in WWE history. Shawn makes his 4th appearance in the main series after his debut in SmackDown 2 Know Your Role. Now it's time for the final member of the Raw roster, and he is the joint highest rated superstar in the game himself, Triple H. Hunter makes his 6th appearance in the main series after his debut in WWF Smackdown. Like Kurt Angle and The Rock, Triple H is rated 94 overall, which would be his personal 2nd highest rating in the series, falling second to his 95 overall in SmackDown vs Raw 2006, 2010 and 2011. Triple H gets this high rating after being the #1 heel in the company during his reign of terror in 2003. He would drop the title to Chris Benoit at WrestleMania 20, but he would win it back by September, defeating Randy Orton at the Unforgiven pay-per-view. And that wraps up the Raw roster on SmackDown vs Raw. What do you think about the overall ratings for the Red Brand? And what are your memories of playing this classic WWE game? Let me know in the comments section below. If you want to see more classic WWE game content, then please drop a like on this video, subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.